software focused on photography. Peach Pit Press, publishers of technology books, ebooks, and videos for creative people. Epson, exceed your vision. Expo Imaging, Rogue Flash Benders for speedlight enthusiasts. Intel, the power you need for hardcore creatives. Squarespace, everything you need to create an exceptional photography website. And B&H Photo, the professional source.
Hi everybody, welcome to another live episode of The Grid. It's our photo critique episode, and I am surrounded by two gentlemen, each one more beautiful than the next. We'll start to my left.
Oh man!
Well, you knew you weren't as beautiful as our in-studio guest.
Way over there.
No, I'm automatically gonna lose that one. And it's Dave Black. Did you ever see him in a cowboy hat?
Dude, I know.
And that's all I had.
It was a whole Brokeback Mountain moment. Okay.
Oh.
Hey everybody. First we have Matt Kloskowski, my co-host. How you doing, Matty?
I'm good.
What's up, buddy?
I'm just
Bad visual?
Bad visual.
Okay.
I'm doing great, thank you.
Well, it's good to have you here, Matt. It is Matt, right?
It is.
Okay.
Today.
Also joining us, we are honest, all joking aside, we are very, very honored to have one of my very favorite photographers in the whole wide world. One of the coolest guys in our industry, absolutely one of the best instructors. He's multi-breasted, he's flatulent. It's Dave Black.
Hello, Scott.
Hi, Dave. How you doing,
nice
buddy?
to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right.
It's good seeing you down there.
Now, I know most of you already know who Dave Black is, but there's probably somebody in a small farming town outside of Spain, outside of Madrid, that says, who is this Dave Black? ¿Quién es Dave Black? so Dave Black is literally a living legend of sports photography. He shot for everybody. He shot how many Olympics now?
12.
12 Olympics.
Yeah, got those in.
And done quite a bit of work with Sports Illustrated, and he's an unbelievable teacher and just a wonderful guy. We love Dave. He's done a bunch of classes for us here at Kelby Training. We can't say enough about Dave. We could do this entire show just bragging about Dave.
But let's not.
Hey, it looks like Gustav Oliveira says, the concept of beauty in this panel is a little odd. Is it, Gustav?
He is correct.
Okay, he's right. Hey, just a couple quick things. We got some great giveaways for you. We are going to be giving away all kinds of stuff. First, today on our show, we have a great book called Shooting in
Shippy Light.
Shippy Light.
Shippy.
Shoddy Light, thank you. So anyway, it is a terrific book. It's about shooting in the actual light most of us have to shoot in.
Zoom in on the cover.
We can't all be Dave Black where light just appears in a magical puff of smoke with a unicorn. Some of us have to shoot at high noon, and this is a really terrific book. Lindsay Adler, Eric Valland, two people who know how to shoot in that kind of light and are masters of it. Terrific book, actually a very, very good book. Very well done. So we're going to be giving away that. Also, I'm going out on tour starting on April 3rd with my brand new Shoot Like a Pro tour. It's kind of based loosely on my digital photography book series, and I'm going to be in Philly on the 3rd, and then next I'm in Chicago. If you'd like to go to either one of those dates, we'll be giving away 2 tickets to each city today on the show. So if you'd like to come and join us, if you don't think you're going to win, just go to kelbytraining.com/live and you'll see there's my tour right there, and got a little video. Do we have a video we can show them? I did a little short video. Do we have a video? You told them?
She was having some problems getting.
They were having problems getting video.
Hold on. Juan says yes? Yes.
All right. Hey, so I put together just a little short video. It's like, just a minute or something. And it explains what the tour's about. And then when we come back, we're going to give you away some tickets. So here's the video. Check it out. Well, hi, everybody. Scott Kelby here, and I want to invite you to my brand new tour. It's called the Shoot Like a Pro Tour. And it's where I take my digital photography book series and I bring the pages to life live on stage with one goal. The goal of this full-day seminar is to help you to take the best photos you've ever taken, the kind of photos you've always wanted to take. So the first class of the morning is called Work Your Settings Like a Pro. We get all the camera stuff and all the gear stuff out of the way first thing in the morning. We go through lenses, through settings, through all these things to get your camera finally set up right so you can make great photos. Next, we're going to do how to shoot travel and landscape like a pro. We're going to go through all the tips, all the tricks, all those things that are going to make such a big difference. After lunch, when we come back, we're going to be looking at portraits, how to make people look their very, very best, and we're going to work on natural light and hot shoe flash. Now, if you've ever struggled with hot shoe flash, you will not after this session, because we're going to start from scratch, build the whole thing. You see the whole thing live right there on stage. When we come back, the next class is called just how to make better images. And this is a class where it really all comes together. And I think you're going to find some really, really helpful things inside there. We wrap up the day with a class called Photo Recipes. It's based on the most popular chapter in all of the series of books. And we start with a finished photo, and then we back it up and we deconstruct the whole thing so you see exactly step by step how to make the same type of images yourself. And this day, it's awesome. I guarantee you're going to learn a ton. But I'm not just saying I guarantee it, we actually do guarantee it. If you go to this seminar and you don't think that this is the best seminar you've ever been to at any price ever, we'll refund 100% of your money right there on the spot. So I hope you'll come join me on the road for my brand new Shoot Like a Pro tour presented by Kelby Training. Hey, so we're back. That's what the tour is about. I hope to see you out on the road. I'm going all over the country, but we're starting in those couple of cities. So you can go to, if you really want to enter the contest right now, you can. You can go to kelbytv.com/contest. Now, when you get there, you'll have to choose which show it is. So this is the grid. And wow, they got that quick there, didn't they? And just fill in your information. Leave us a comment like, hey, I want to go to Chicago, or hey, I want to go to Philly. And there you go. Look at the cursor. It's also animated.
It did a squiggly.
It did a squiggly. All right. Hey, so today is our photo. What? Is our photo critiques. And we're very happy to have Dave with us. Now, we told Dave what the rules are. We're going to tell you what the rules are. Very, very simple rules. Number one is if you have submitted to us to look at your, we're going to give you an honest critique, because you can go to Flickr, you can go to Facebook, put up a picture that you took of your cat playing in your basement with, and everybody will tell you it's the greatest picture ever taken. So we're here to give you the opposite of that, which are honest critiques. The idea is to help you, not just the person that sent in theirs, but for other people to look and go, oh, you know what? When I do my next landscape shot, I'm going to do it. Now, Dave is, of course, a sports expert, and so we're going to be focusing a lot on sports today, but we have some other ones. Now, when I said submit your images, I didn't realize that we were just going to do sports. So we have a couple other ones that we threw in here as well of people that sent in their critiques. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. We're going to be straight with you. We're going to be honest with you, but we're not trying to be mean, even though it sometimes sounds like it. But it's not. It's meant to just be straight. But hard to be honest with somebody and be super flattering at the same time. But we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to launch into our first set of images with beautiful Dave Black. Don't go away. We're live right here on the grid.
Don't go away, Dave.
Don't go away, Dave.
I'm here.
Hi, I'm Joel Grimes, commercial advertising photographer. I'd like to have you check out my new class on beauty, fashion, lighting, and retouching. I've discovered there's nothing more difficult than learning how to light beauty and fashion, and then, of course, the retouching side of things. I'm going to cover all those techniques. I'm Joel Grimes. Come check me out on kelbytraining.com.
So we're really going to have to look at the... Oh, we're back.
Hey, we're back.
It's up there if we should talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, we're back, and we're going to start right into the first one. So just for you guys watching at home, people have sent us in these images. The day before, usually the day before the grid, we put out a little thing that says, hey, if you go to any of our social media sites, except for Dave Black's, we do what? We put out a little list and...
Yeah, we picked the images, and Brad actually picked most of these, and he's actually got, we have mostly sports, but there's some landscape and portraiture in there as well. So,
all right, let's take a look at the first images.
Even some wildlife, which we'll
wildlife. All right, so here we go. Here's the first images. So, Matt, let's go through them. Yeah, let's go scroll through them and see what the body
people usually submit between 4 and 5. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Ding, a winner. It's a pretty nice shot, don't you think? Got a little something going. We've got action. We actually included her foot down in the lower left-hand corner, too. You know, a lot of times people kind of cut off their ankle, and you go, hey, where's the foot, right? Got that. Looks nice and sharp.
Yeah, it's cute. The
Whoa, stay there.
thing on her face.
If you can, photographer, if you can, take a knee, get a little bit lower. If you get lower from your vantage point, then the bench behind there, which is a very, very bright object, and I know Scott likes those, bright object, ooh. That will drop below the horizon line, below the field of play, and make a cleaner background. That'll also make our athletes higher above the team back there, which makes it look like they're actually higher in the air.
Yeah, it'll make her jump look like she's not 4 inches off. It'll make it look
down
like.
low. Sports photography looks great, I think, when you're down low looking up at the athletes.
It does.
Yeah,
It
that'll help.
accentuates. It really accentuates the perspective. It makes all athletes look big and
Exactly.
cool.
Bring your knee pads or bring a towel from the hotel.
But you like that shot. Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Comments?
Well, unfortunately, the two main players are looking away. You're not really seeing their faces. The puck is partially obscured, and there's no real reason to. Even if you're okay with all of that, there's still no reason to have a ref just standing there like a totem pole. Just you could crop this a lot tighter. In fact, can we, Matt? It's just we just really need to see. We don't need to see all that white space. We don't need to see
I
that.
didn't know you guys were going to help them out. You're going to help them out
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Go get rid of the ref altogether. There you go. And make a little room for that skate. Get the skate in there. And now hit it and then zoom it back up to size. And it just makes a much more dynamic picture focused in on the action, because a ref standing there isn't bringing anything to it. But I'm going to go to Dave Black.
Well, Scott, I think you're absolutely right. We don't need the ref at all. The ref, unless the ref is making some kind of animated
Right, if it was
gesture
like he's
towards the player
yeah,
or
he's
something
making a
like
big
that.
gesture.
If he's not helping, then we don't need him. If there's something in the picture that's not helping and we can crop it out, then let's go ahead and crop it out of there. And I think you're also right when you're saying this is almost a little after the action. In other words, face-off's already gone, drop the puck down. It's now scooting away from us and our camera viewpoint, which means we don't see their faces at all. Is it sharp? Yeah. Nice exposure? Yes, we got that down. But we'd like to see it at the moment of action, not after the fact.
Exactly. Because you know what? Can I tell you something? Getting a good exposure and having the photo sharp, that's expected. Right? I mean, that's not any longer like, wow, good job, it's sharp.
That's correct.
It's expected that if you're shooting a sports shot, it's going to be sharp. It's expected that your exposure is going to be pretty good. So once those are out of the way, because if you buy a camera today and you spent more than $300 on it, it better take a good sharp photo, and the exposure, even if you set it in auto mode, ought to be pretty good. So you have to capture something else in a moment of, like Dave said, a moment where there's action, where there's something interesting happening, and this is not that.
Mm-hmm.
Next up.
Well, our action's better. It's a little hard to see because we've taken a vertical, and I think the photographer took a vertical so he could maybe see the fan in the background with the sign. I can't see it exactly from here.
Go Flyers.
Go Flyers, there we go. So it's kind of neat that they've incorporated the fan, but if we have a sort of what I would call a dead puck, right? The puck is like resting on the ice. If the puck were like popping up in the air, that would help just that little bit. Now, I'm being kind of critical about that because I'm thinking, hey, the ref's doing something, Dave. You said the ref should be doing something. And yes, this one is, right? And there is some action. But the puck is kind of resting on top of the stick. If it were popped up where I could see some ice underneath the puck so that it's like up in the air, that to me makes it a more dynamic picture. And I'll take it either way in a way. I like it better like this, but I didn't mind seeing the guy, the fan up in the top there. I mean, maybe this fan has been to every single game this season, and so he's like the, what's the guy's name out there with the Lakers? Jack Nicholson. He's like the Jack Nicholson of this team, maybe. I don't know.
Now,
Really
here's the
good
only
hockey
problem with that is if you may know that guy's at every game. You may know, oh, that's old crazy Frank. He has a sign at every game. But for me, looking at the image, I have no idea what your story is. If that guy is somebody. But the other thing that's killing me about showing that is I hate seeing empty seats. Empty seats kill a background. I've shot a number of sporting events where I was told beforehand, don't show empty seats.
All right, let's watch this then. Let's go ahead and kill the empty seats, Matt.
Matt, kill the empty seats.
Bingo. And now what happens to your eye? Goes right into the action.
Goes right to the action.
Goes right to the action.
Unfortunately, both players, you don't really see their faces, so you really can't see any motion. That's the other thing. But look what Dave said about the gesture. Look at the gesture of the ref in this one compared to the lack of gesture in the last one.
Much better.
So I like this shot actually much better than the previous one, but I agree with all Dave's things, as I always do, by the way. Dave?
Looks to me to be just a little bit of an off moment. It's hard to tell whether they're celebrating or he's giving a little shove to this guy. You want to make sure that it's easily defined, and I'm not sure that I'm seeing that, yes, it's a celebration. Here we are, a little closer on here.
It's hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
It
Now,
doesn't
one of
look,
the,
yeah, it looks
ahead,
like
Matt.
more like somebody was just
Goofing around.
It was like, oh, hey, Mom, look over here.
There you go. Not maybe
And
exactly what
anymore?
we're looking
Anymore?
for.
Oh, that's it for that one.
Oh,
Oh, wait,
no,
here's
no,
one
there's
more.
one more.
Here.
I like this shot.
This is my favorite one.
Yeah, I like this one. Scott, you want to lead off or what?
What I like about it is it has a graphical feel to it. The composition of having the player way over and all that empty ice. And I mean, it looks like that moment where the crowd starts cheering, where someone breaks away and it's just, just him and the goalie, and they're ready to go at it. It looks like something really cool is about to happen, and this is a point where everybody would be cheering. There's nobody between you and him because you want that one-to-one matchup, and you're thinking, all right, he's going to score. I like it, and I also like the colors. Even though you can't see his face, right? There's things that are missing, right? But I still think it's just a really strong image, and that's all I'm going to say. Brad. Sorry, I called you Brad, Dave. I meant Dave, but in a Brad way.
There you go. Bring her back up. Where is it? I like it as well. I like a lot of things about it. One of the things I like is that the athlete has a dynamic about the way he's already crossed over. He's crossed his skate over, and he's starting the charge here. And I like that. The fact that I can see the puck is also good. And there's an anticipation here that I'm thinking, will he score or will he not score? Yeah. You know, that it gives me that feeling, what's going to happen? It leaves that in my mind. Now, you're probably thinking to yourselves, well, you guys just said we have to see their face in order for it to be a really good picture, and I don't see any face in this kind of thing at all. What's wrong with you guys? Well, I would say that's okay. We've got a little bit of generic sort of going on here. I think the dynamic of the athlete is doing real good. The nice thing is you don't have any stray elements either, other than maybe Mr. Reuter back there. He's a little bit of a stray element. But can't do much about that guy on the boards. But at least we don't have like a stray leg hanging out here, or a stick over here, or something like that. Everything kind of is where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I like it.
It also helps that the goalie is wearing a colorful outfit. Thank you for the nice uniform. Yellow, a little different there. So.
Hey, Robin.
We got a good question.
Go, Matt.
Sorry.
I was just going to say we had a good question, but you
Robin.
saw it too.
So, yeah, go ahead and read it there.
Do you
Dave.
read them here? I'm not a good reader here. I prefer to shoot vertical, but I know some like to shoot horizontal and crop vertical. Thoughts? My thought would be, well, if you're going to shoot vertical, it's because you're shooting for the cover. If you're shooting for the cover, vertical is a pretty good way to go. The quality in the cameras today have enough quality that you can certainly make a vertical picture, a crop, out of a horizontal shot image. There's no doubt that you can do that. But just keep in mind that there's only one cover. That's going to pay so much money if you're thinking in terms of actually being published. 2-page spreads, horizontals that run across, those pay more for editorial space rate than a 1/4-page vertical. So I'm big on shooting horizontal.
Yeah. So Robin, and you may not be shooting, for a magazine. But I would say this: it is, as Dave said, it's actually pretty easy to take a horizontal picture and crop it vertically. It is very, very hard to take a vertical image in most cases and make it into a horizontal. Yeah. So your vertical image is there if you shoot horizontal. But here's the most important thing. Robin, my guess is that your images, like mine, probably like Dave's, and well, maybe not Dave's, but Matt's and all, our final resting place for our images is on the web. Most people, Dave is going to be a lot in print, but you're on the web as well. Mm-hmm. If you shoot horizontal, your images have much more impact on the web, because picture a web page. When your image is this big, you get a lot of that space. And when you click on it, it eats up the whole screen. If you shoot vertical, you get a little tiny square. And when you click to make it full screen, it just is a little more. Yeah. The impact of a horizontal image on the web is double that of a vertical image on the web. So what I would tell you is, I understand why you prefer to shoot vertical. It does add impact. But unfortunately, the place that adds the most impact is where Dave mentioned, the cover of a magazine. But you can still get that cover out of, and they do it very routinely, on a horizontal image. If you shoot horizontal, you get both. If you shoot vertical, you really only get one.
There's some sports that are made for the vertical image. Basketball comes to mind when I think of that as a vertical image. If you go to the Olympic sports, gymnastics is a very vertical sport. And sometimes that is the way to go. It's hard to make a horizontal out of some of those sports. But just everything Scott said, right on the money. It's real estate. You want to use up all that real estate. When you go to a vertical on the web, you're missing a whole lot of real estate.
All right, let's see what we have here.
Oh, wait a minute. You guys got a preview. I didn't get it. Show me the preview.
Next up.
Here we go.
Ready?
Whoa. Yeah.
All right.
Somebody got to a Lakers game.
All right.
All righty, here we go. Now, class, were you listening out there? What should the photographer do? What's the first thing I'm going to say?
Get down low.
Get down low.
Get down low.
Get down low, and all of a sudden, he becomes airborne. We know he's airborne because it looks like both feet are off the ground, his back toes maybe just hanging in there. You get lower, and all of a sudden, his feet clear the ground completely, and he looks like he's really jumping through the air. Not real big on the first down markers back there,
no.
But it is part of the game. There it is. I'd like it not there. It's a catch, and I'd love to see it. Do you have a frame just earlier?
See, that's what I was going to say.
Do you have a frame earlier where it's like
before it
fingertips?
gets in their hands.
It's like just there. Oh, please. Right there. It's
They
like
didn't.
already caught it already.
Dave, they didn't go to our live picture there. They were.
I know it.
Can we
What's
show
up
that again?
with
Can you come back to the?
Wait, so what would you like? What would you guys like to see?
We're waiting for the.
We're waiting.
This.
Just on the fingertips.
I'm reaching for it.
Oh, it just left us not there. Okay. But the guy did
good
have
info,
good.
though.
The guy had big calves. Though. Look at those calves. Unbelievable.
Those
Get
are-
him into weightlifting.
Those are big calves.
You got it.
For this one, I totally agree with Dave. I would like to see it just before that, the moment before he catches it. You know, I think makes it a little more exciting. I think it could be cropped a lot tighter. There's not a whole lot of. There's a lot of dead space, but it's not dead. It's not dead space for a reason like the last one. And that's about. Unfortunately, that's about as tight as you're going to be able to get. But yeah, you could do it might make a good vertical. He's stretched out so far, I don't know if it'll fit in a vertical. Yeah,
It's a square.
It's a square. You can make it a square. Sometimes magazines like that, right? Because it fits a column. It's a 2-column spread. It's a square. They're like, oh, it's perfect. I can fit it right in here.
But then you'll have to run to the other side of the field and get it so that it's moving from left to right.
Right. So, so anyway, but I like the separation, the good separation from. I'd like, of course, more separation, but you can't always get that. But I like the shot overall.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, we don't see many
Not so many boxing shots.
boxing, UFC.
Light's kind of interesting. It's not a great moment of it's if his head was kicked back or
Exactly.
he's punching him, you'd be like, ooh, but it's still good. That would just take it up a notch.
There's a really, really gritty quality about this. The light is coming from almost top to bottom. It's like it almost has like a single light bulb above, and lighting them up. And that really defines all their features, all their muscles and so forth. I like that. Definitely crop out the sign here on the right. We don't need it unless you're working for those people or something. But that would be more of a square shot, probably cropped. Right. Now go back and forth if we can and show the words in there. As soon as you get signage, numbers, words, letters, especially with that kind of color that large, your eye goes right to that first and then comes back to the action.
You're right. It reads the text first.
Now my eye goes directly to the action, and I definitely agree with Scott. If that guy's head were snapped back, turned to the side, and you know that he had hit here, it looks more like a miss, although it is sort of a hit to the throat. This is a crazy sport, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Jay Maisel always talks about that. If there's a sign in the picture, how would Jay Maisel say that?
Your eye goes to those kinds of words. You've got to get rid of the signage.
I love Dave's imitation of
He
Jay.
does. He
It's
does a
so
good
dead on.
One of the cool things about this picture, and I think it's tough in this sort of sport because the background usually drops to almost jet black. It's just gone. And I can just see enough of the audience back there. And that helps me out a lot. I like the idea that there's some audience back there, and they're just not sort of in dead space.
Yeah, this was like an MAA event.
Very cool.
Okay, next, Matt.
Very cool. I kind of like it.
All right, this is your forte, dude. You are Mr. Gymnastics.
Right.
You know where this looks like it was taken?
I know exactly where this was taken. Scott, you were
that
there.
That looks like it was the Evolution
And I want to talk to you
event?
about this event, potentially, for a video
Ooh.
coming up. Ooh. Anyway, your timing is actually pretty good on this shot. In other words, she's doing a release move on the bars, done her release, hands are there. But I think the idea that we're seeing it from behind, I'm not real wild about that. I'd rather see it actually profile directly from the side so I can see how high she is, how far away from the bar she is, how far does she have to reach to catch it. We've also got like a spotlight in the background there. It's not helping to see that little guy, that little white.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you could clone that little white dot out in the middle of the...
What?
You could.
Don't do it.
Well, no, if it's for
Not
reportage.
if it's editorial, that's
If
fine.
it's for reportage, no. But if it's for you, absolutely.
We were just teasing there.
All right, any more? Or was that last one?
Matt, go ahead.
It's that of all sports photos. So if this is going to a wire service, you can't take that out.
No.
Okay.
Oh, God, no. No. No,
We will take a break when we finish this set.
Yeah, we got it. Break. We know.
Break.
We know. It's coming. Hey, yeah, when you're doing a reportage, you can never use the healing brush. You can never use the rubber stamp tool. Those things, you might as well take them out of Photoshop.
Paint bucket?
No. No, not paint
My
bucket.
favorite tool.
I know. Creates night. All right, so last one here, a basketball shot, Lakers with the double amputee effect on the toes. What do you think?
That said it all right there. As soon as we've trimmed off his, and look where you've sort of cropped them too. In other words, show me, if you're going to show this much of the athlete, show me the floor as well so I know how high he is.
Yep.
In this case, probably not that high. Could be a little bit better. Exposure-wise, right on the money. Pretty good background. Love all that kind of stuff going on. Even got some nice emotion on the face, looking at the ball. All those things are kind of working for you. I'm going to guess that you've center cursored your autofocus, and so you're trying to keep that right on the number 12, and then that leaves you trimming his feet off in the bottom. Do you think
the
so?
feet could be, because it's very, very centered. If you were doing target practice, it would be great. Hey, good photographer though overall. I think this person's got some good stuff. A couple little tweaks, but not.
We're being critical here, but I think that's good. These were some good pictures. Don't get us wrong. We're not
critique,
throwing them
so-
all
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
But this is good.
No, good stuff.
Hopefully
hey,
this is helpful.
we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have more blind critiques here with Dave Black, the man, the legend, right here on the grid. Don't go away.
See some wild stuff out there.
Weird.
Ed?
Hey, we are back. We are back. Quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Peach Pit Press. I love Peach Pit Press. They're the people that publish my books. But they have a special e-deal for our viewers. So it's from now through March 31st. It is the Adobe Masterclass ebook. So it's an e-deal. All right. It is by Ibarian X Perello.
That's what he sounds like.
And I say that because that's how Ibarian X sounds, like, hello.
Hi, Scott.
He's got a great voice. He has like this real baritone, almost bass voice. And it's very, very Good. Baritone and masculine.
Good.
The ebook list price is $27.99. We're going to give you 40% off. So for our viewers, get 40% off. You get the whole book for only $16.79. Just when you do the code, when you go to checkout over at Peach Pit, just put in the code KelbyTV and you get 40% off. So it's just a special thing for our viewers. Thank you, Peach Pit, for that deal. And now,
can we look really quick? They have the link up there. Can we look at the photo, the dad's photos of his daughter? Did you see that article?
Oh, okay. I saw this. Calibra showed it to me. So this guy did a wonderful job.
Isn't that cool?
His things look like old masters paintings. But my favorite one's coming up. Keep going. So he's just shooting his own daughter. That one. Look at that. Seriously.
What a clever idea.
And what an adorable daughter. His daughter's just, look at the eyes, and she's just so cute. So, but what a wonderful series, right?
Oh,
look at that.
I like that one too.
Beautiful.
And what great, beautiful lighting. I mean, beautiful, beautiful lighting and a beautiful little girl. Very cute. And as a dad myself to a little daughter about that age, I think it's quite charming.
Funny.
Those are great.
It's cute.
Love those.
All right.
All right, just wanted to give a shout out.
All right. So Kirk says, I want a grid where Dave just does impressions, because you've done a couple of good ones. Can I give you one of my favorite ones? One of my favorite, Dave Black, we'll do this real quick and then we'll get to the critiques. You do a great, like the NFL films. You know, like you ever watch those old NFL films?
Our next picture may fit right into that, I think.
All right, let's bring up the picture and then Dave will do the. Here we go.
The Wolverines of Michigan felt it a tough day over the gridiron. The autumn wind is a pirate. No, that's classic.
All right,
Look
good.
at this
I
thing.
love
Oh,
that.
do we need to
I
look
could
at all of
listen
them?
to
We
that
should
all
look at
day.
all of them.
All right, let's look
Yeah,
it
we'll
up.
listen to them all. Here we
Boy,
go.
look at that, off to a bang. Ooh, another one there. Where's the football? Oh,
A little
no, I'm
different?
sorry, that's okay. It's different.
Facing the ball.
A little
Shot of
different.
my new house and
A little composite action.
wow, look at this stuff. Variety package.
All right. What do you think, Dave?
Well, I like it.
Crop tight.
I like it. If you shot it this way, I am really impressed. If you cropped it only a tiny little bit, I'm very impressed. It's just squared up really nice. I mean, midair, see the ball. Has he crossed the plane to score yet? I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. So it's got that little bit of an edge to it. Very nicely done. Great exposure as well. You know, this is an easy place to kind of blow out the jerseys, get them a little too bright. Looks like the exposure's right on the money here. Beautiful color.
Very nice.
Man, that's a nice shot. I wouldn't change anything on that guy. Are they in the end zone? Nope. Just short. Scott?
You know what? I like the shot.
You're a football pro here, I'm telling you.
I like the shot. You know what I would love to see, and I don't know if you had enough resolution to do it. Can you crop it for me? I want that. And sideways. And I want that guy over there. That guy's, yeah, over this way. Up higher. All right. So here's the thing, and here's why I want this. Number one, look at the impact of that shot. Number two is, you know what the other shot was showing me? The same shot I can get if I was sitting on the sidelines. When I think about football shots, I want you to bring me something I can't see myself. If I can see it from, you're just basically capturing the same moment I saw sitting in the stands, I'm kind of like, that's nice. Here, I never get this close to football players. I don't get out there in the field. You're bringing me some, now I can see their faces, I can see the struggle, I can see how close everything is. Just for me, I would love it. I might even go a hair tighter, I hate to say it. Can I grab the little thing?
Yeah, because it's kind of neat. One hand, there's one in his hand and one in his hand on the ball.
Right. So they're both kind of battling for it, and you lose
What
that.
are you going to bring it up again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I want to do this. I would actually come in even tighter.
Thank
like
you.
that.
Thank you.
And look at the impact of that shot. And so it takes it to a whole nother level, I think. You can see his elbows hitting the other guys. I mean, there's a whole story within that. Now take us back to the original crop.
Okay. Original crop.
I guess have to.
Can I say something, or are you still going?
Please, no, I'm done. I'm good.
Okay, here's a $125 quarter page. Now blow it up.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh.
There's a $2,000 leading off.
Yeah.
Now
get
I
$2,000
know,
for leading off?
I know. They used to be.
That's pretty
What they
sweet.
do now, I'm not sure. I have to ask.
Now
Don't
it's-
quote me. Don't
No,
quote
we
me
won't
on
quote
those
you.
prices.
We won't quote you.
I may be farther back than the anyway. But the difference between the two, and again, I'm coming from a publishing side. Everything Scott said, right on the money. All of it. There's a picture within this. All this conflict going on. Is there anything wrong with the way it was shot? No. It's a fine picture. Guys are up in the air. All these things. I wouldn't say all the characters of the scene are helping you because you've got one guy standing there just sort of looking. Remember the referee at the hockey game. You don't want a guy just standing there like a tree. Here's where you want to be. Now, this may have required a 600 millimeter lens to get to this and or close to this, and then a little bit of a crop. Perhaps what he already shot it originally with was a 300. I don't know. We don't know exactly what lens was used. But this is what I think you need to strive for. This is what every football photographer should be striving for. Everyone can get the one where two guys are jumping up and there's plenty of room there and so forth. Your editor can take that picture. You have to take a picture that your editor cannot take.
So I want to give some credit where credit's due here. So the reason why I looked at that picture and saw it that way is because of Dave Black. So two things. Dave Black told me, he says, if you're on the sidelines and everybody's shooting a 400 millimeter, you're going to get the same shot everybody else has. Stick a 1.4 tele on there and get up to 580 or 550 and get in tight like that. And the other thing is Dave, about a year and a half ago, did a critique of my football stuff. And Dave's critique was, it's what I wanted it to be, very honest. Okay. Every picture I opened up, Dave would say the exact same things that you're seeing here. Get in tighter, crop out the ref that's not doing anything. People that aren't part of the play shouldn't be in your shot. He would go in and in and in and everything. So then I had Peter Reed Miller look at my stuff. You know what he said? Crop away those things, get in tighter. This is after I cropped tighter from Dave. Peter's like, yeah, he just needs to go in a little tighter. And so, this weekend we did an amazing hockey workshop with the team photographer for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, great.
Scott Audette. We had 3 days. It was amazing. And Scott is an amazing hockey photographer. He's a really great photographer, period. Cool. But for hockey, he's like the man. And we did 2 blind critiques. You know what he said over and over again?
Get in tight.
Right, get in tight, crop away superfluous stuff, just show, So the stuff that you're hearing is, I don't want to take any credit for it because I got it from Dave Black. And that's why, another reason why it's such an honor to have him here, because Dave shot every sport, everything, and he's got a great insight. Hey, Dave and I, by the way, so it's not football season, but you did a class with us on shooting high school football that went over amazingly well. People loved that class.
Had a good time.
I was in the class, but I was not there teaching the class. Dave was teaching it, and Dave was giving me sports trivia questions that I very rarely could answer. They were really hard questions. But Dave, I cannot tell you how many emails and letters and comments I've gotten on that class because we were shooting under regular local high school lights, and you had so many insights.
Nothing was planned. I mean, it was you got what you got.
Had a good time. We got what we got. We were just right there, the same way everybody else is out here, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. So if you're a Kelby Training subscriber, if you shoot any kind of sports, I guarantee you'll learn a ton from it. Go watch it. If you're not, you can go rent the class for $10. Go to kelbytraining.com. Go to the online section. Look for Dave Black's name and rent the class on shooting high school football. Randy Brogan's asking, Dave, how much cropping do you normally do in your sports images? Dave.
Little as possible.
Little as possible.
I try not to crop anything at all. And part of that is I have a vision of what I want the picture to look like. I know if you're hired by somebody, it's, you're working for them, but it's my picture. They're hiring me to do something special. And I think that's why I'm kind of pushing you out there. Just strive to get closer, strive to get tighter, strive to, you're thinking, well, Dave, there was a garbage can in the background. The play ran right over here. How did I see it? Because as you're panning with your camera and here comes the football coming in there and you see that there's going to be something, you move your knee so that you change that just a little bit. If you practice that, it'll come to you.
I was just going to say, that comes from years of practice.
It does.
Nick says, Dave also has an assistant next to him with 3 to 4 cameras for a football game.
No, I do not.
I don't believe you do you?
No, in fact, even assistants on the sidelines for Sports Illustrated is a real premium these days. It really is. TV owns the sidelines much more. And well, Scott, you're shooting a lot of games. There are not a lot of assistants on the sideline anymore, handing off cameras here and there.
If I see one, it's one.
Yeah.
One person. It's usually the team photographer. Yeah. The team photographer may have an intern or an assistant. Right. But that's out of the 70 photographers that are covering the event. It's very rare to see on sidelines of someone standing there handing you cameras. So whoever had that
notion that's
yeah.
history. That's sort of old
That's
history.
the
It did used to be that way, where
old
you'd have an assistant and they'd have the 3 and you'd exchange the 4 and the 6, but you'd still have
I
camera
dream
around
for
your
those
neck,
days.
so-
Let's take a look.
Oh,
What
yeah.
about the jumping in the air shot here?
20 minutes left. Here we go.
Looks like a composite, kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a composite.
Can I jump in?
Yeah,
You
please.
bet.
This is
Step
your
up.
composite, man.
You know what I would do to this one is, because if you look at it, the ground is about lit as much as anything else is in
Yep.
the photo. If I were to take this, and I will take it, I'd take the graduated filter, bring down the exposure, and just go like maybe not that much.
Yeah. There you go.
Something like that.
Gee, that makes the subject stand out a lot more.
Yeah. And I'd probably even darken I'd go in and darken their arms a little bit. They're kind of dark back there, but that's like,
Yeah.
look at me.
Now it's possible it's not a composite, but I don't know. It looks composite-y. If you're shooting shots that aren't composites and look like a composite, there may be a problem.
If it's not a composite, they did some creative cloning and getting rid of lights in the background there, because
All right. Next,
you can see there.
kind of like this one, except for the fact that the place my eye is drawn to is the ground in the foreground.
You got it.
It's the brightest thing, and so same thing that Matt just said for the other one. We need to kind of darken that and get your eye on the Dr. Pepper sign and on everything else. So can we see a before and after? Look at that difference.
Plus, you have this magnificent sunset sort of going on here. Why are we seeing so much ground in the first place? I'd rather see a little bit more sky. That's where my, some of the interest is.
Also, if you look at the color of that sky versus the white balance for the ground, it looks like it should all be a little warmer.
I agree.
And it looks like it needs a vignette.
And if we were to just
Look at you guys go.
Look at that.
You go,
might-
guys. You go, Matt. Here we go.
I might
Was
fix
it
that
leaning,
just a
was it
little.
leaning back there?
Well, here, look. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Man,
Did you say vignette? I can do vignette.
I got to take some like Kelby training
There you go.
classes. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Boing, boink.
Boink, boink. Very nice. Next. But I like that shot. I like that one.
Cool. We got a whole bunch
one
now,
more.
right? Oh, one more.
So while I love this type of subject, this is my least favorite one. What's really driving me nuts is that the lights in the gym are gray.
All right.
Which generally means I pulled my highlights back using the highlight slider in Photoshop or something, and that is usually not that great. So also, the light on his arm, right, appears bluish, and in fact his skin has a blue tint to it, but the background that he's on does not have a blue tint to it.
Yeah.
It's not a convincing. It's just not a convincing composite. I mean, it's a good shot of him by himself. It's a good shot of the gym by himself. It's a tad over processed, and the colors don't match, and the gray for the lights is bad. It's just it's okay. I don't know how to explain it.
It's okay. It's just not great.
It's okay. So it's not great.
Well, let me step in here just for a second. Because it's a stylized image, it's obviously stylized. It's
Right.
not like they just shot it and then pull it out of the camera and there
Right.
it was. It's got all these things that you all like to do here. I don't mind that he's got that the highlight on his arm is a little bit blue because it's stylized already. So if he wants to, or he or she, if the color's kind of doing that, I'm not all that concerned with it. I think when you said that the uniform, it looks like the red is not matching the red on the wall. Almost looks like it's a little more orangish or something.
Yeah.
It's almost competing against it in a way.
Well, when I look at a composite, Dave, I always think, is he really there? I shouldn't be aware it's a composite. It should just look like he's in the gym. It shouldn't look like I stuck this in front of a picture of the gym. This looks like
It's
you
got
stuck
that.
it in front of a picture of the gym. And then the other post-processing issues about the gray lights and the ceiling and stuff. But that's why the blue is distracting me, because it doesn't look like the color of the rest of the image. The rest of the image looks a bit warmer and different. So that's where
and it's a good composite. I guarantee you, whoever number 3 is loved it, but
Yeah.
it's just
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to take it. Doesn't take it to that great level.
In the marketplace today,
right.
not quite there. Is that what
Right.
you're saying?
So here's what we're going
Okay.
to do. we're going to send you a signed copy of Matt's book. Matt wrote a book on compositing, and he's got some terrific techniques. So we're going to find out. We'll have to ask Brad or somebody to look up who sent that image in, and we will send you a signed copy of Matt's book on.
And if you're watching, and you can tweet in or write in who you are, you can save us a whole bunch of time.
Save us a whole bunch of time. And but anyway, so
we'll send you something else.
But good photographer, got some good stuff. Just a couple little things.
Very interesting.
All right, is that big break sign?
Yeah, hey, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have more blind critiques, meaning we can't see. Stick around. We're all refs.
Where are they?
Where are they? We'll be right back. Don't go away. We're right here live on the grid.
I can't wait to do this again.
Hey, we're back. Scott Kelby here with Matt Klaskowski, my co-host, and Dave Black, our special guest. Hello. Hey, did you see in that little Photoshop World video they just ran that the gymnast up in the air? That was from your live class. You actually bring in an Olympian, didn't you?
We had a great time with that. Everybody learned a lot, I think.
Dave teaches at Photoshop World. Coming to Photoshop World coming up in April here. Most amazing event in the world. If you're into Photoshop, Lightroom, whatever. Hey, also want to shout out to our sponsor, MPix. So MPix is an online photo lab. Somebody went to Twitter this week and said, hey, Scott, do you know a place where I could get some prints made? I'm like, man, do I ever. So MPix.com, if you get your images, you drag and drop your images onto their website. Tell them what size you want, if you want it framed or whatever the deal is. Get it there by 11 in the morning. The next day, ka-chow. They have your print on your doorstep. They also have a brand new iPhone app, so go check them out, mpix.com. Great people, great products. Love them, love MPix.
Sweet.
And thank you for sponsoring our show. All right, back to the critiques. We're going to switch gears for just a second. We're doing a bunch of sports here. Let's take a look at a Gator. It's Gator Nationals.
This one's a crock, no doubt about it.
All right, next, let's just go through the images real quick. Bird.
Bird's butt.
Bird, butt. Cardinal.
And this person had a lot of other images in there. These are all.
Are these all from the same?
Mascots.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
all mascots.
So
Yeah.
I'll start off with the first one. So the crocodile is not a bad shot. It's a little crooked.
Thank you.
Still, the horizon line. I guess it's pretty close. Okay. You know what it is?
Remember what we talked about on the last one with the truck and the gas station? Almost the same thing's happening here.
Yeah, it's
in the
bright
sense
at the
that
bottom.
Very bright at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
But you know what else too? This looks like a gator at rest. I climbed up on the banks of it. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
It's not a really compelling shot. It's not a shot where you think, wow, that must have been amazing. It looks like, let me put it this way. If you handed your kid,
To the gator?
no,
to-
if you handed a,
That would be a great
you
shot.
handed your puppy
Okay.
to a gator. No.
Oh, okay.
But if you handed your kid a camera and it was a long enough lens and you said, hey, honey, see that gator over there? Take a shot of it for daddy.
Or short enough lens and
How would it be much different than this shot?
Yeah.
It wasn't like capturing a peak moment. Next.
Wait, back up. So what kind of a moment would it be? Do we need to
Mouth
see his
open?
mouth open?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
That's what
something
we're
that
asking
looks
for.
like it's not stuffed.
Exactly.
That could be a stuffed toy gator on the beach. It's just a gator
Gesture.
doing nothing. Gesture.
Gesture. Gesture.
Next.
Right. Gotta have a gesture.
Next. So here's a gesture.
Here's a
It's
gesture.
a bird's butt.
But it is a bird's butt. You don't see the bird's eye. It is not doing something particularly interesting. It's just kind of a bird flying there. There's a nice look up in the left corner. Stick.
This is the shot you'd get when you walked up and the bird saw you and flew away.
Yep, it's dappled light. There's really nothing good happening here. It's just, it's again, if you took out your cell phone and you took a shot, how would it look any different than this? And this one is the worst. So here's the thing. Nice bird, almost dead center. So if you're doing target practice, you are set. It's very, very busy in the background. So here's the thing. So you're saying, well, what should a cardinal photo look like? Well, go to 500px. That is what a cardinal photo should look like. Look at the separation between that cardinal and the background. Those birds, they've shot it at like f2.8 or f2, and there's a tremendous separation. You see the bird has a good gesture. It's not just sitting there, it's flying in. They captured a moment. Let's see, look at another one.
I was just going to do search for alligator.
Oh,
There you go.
That's an alligator shot right there, buddy. You know what that is? That's art.
Oh,
Right.
look at, there's another one.
There we
Ooh,
go.
see, there you go. That's a gator shot. See that one coming up out of there? These are, and this is just doing a random search for gator. All right, look at that one kind of leering at you in the water. Right, that one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So type in
that's our
cardinal.
advice.
Yeah, type in cardinal. This is 500px.com. Look at these shots. Now, wait, go back up. Look at all those shots right there. Now go look at the one we were just looking at. You see?
And the difference is not necessarily something that this photographer could even control. You won't get any one of these shots with what he did here.
Right.
It's impossible because there's twigs, but there's no separation. You can
Yeah.
use it whatever lens you want. You would not have gotten that shot.
Can I also show you something else? Look at those shots. Do you know what's key about those shots? They are all taken in beautiful light. There's tremendous separations. This is taken in harsh,
High noon.
unflattering light at high noon. Those were taken at 4 o'clock or 5. Look at the light on each one of them. The light is still pretty on each one of those lights. They've got great separation. Look at that.
He's so cute.
Oh my gosh, who's a good cardinal? Who's a good cardinal? All right, J. Michael Hill writes in, watch Moose Peterson's class on Kelby training when he is shooting birds in his backyard. Lots of great advice on how to shoot wildlife. Let me tell you what, anybody that wants to write in and say, watch a particular class on Kelby training, always will get their comment read. All right, Matt.
switching gears to some
Switching
portraits.
gears to some portraits. This looks to me, go back, oh yeah, go through them. This looks like, to me, it was shot with an unflattering lens. Maybe
Like
a
a
50 millimeter, a little too close.
Maybe even like 35. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like her
facial
head is coming
features-
towards us. It sort of distorts her facial features a little
Yep.
bit.
I'm just not loving it, but it's not terrible. It's not like, oh, this is awful, but it's not a very flattering picture of your subject. This is a flattering picture, except her eyes. I think it's been maybe over retouched, because are her eyes still in? What is it?
It looks worse on the TV screen than it does the laptop.
Yeah, it looks exaggerated on the screen there. Yeah. It's not bad though. I like this shot. This is okay. And I like the composition. Ooh, baby. Cute baby.
So you know when
Baby.
tiny babies look best? When they're sleeping. Because you know what happens when tiny babies open up their eyes? They're kind of like got that it's
A little bit cross-eyed.
a little cross-eyed. It's a little, it's not quite, but it's.
Also, the pattern the baby's on is a distracting pattern.
That's
now,
the tough part.
You've got
Yeah.
2 patterns going. You have the cap, the yarn knit thingy, and then this other. It's the war of the patterns.
It would look a lot better if there was a
But
solid.
not bad either. And anybody?
Well, the way the light's been used really makes the fur on the hat and the hair and so forth look. I mean, it's so distinct. That I like. I like where the light, the direction that the light is coming in from. It seems to have a lot of post-processing to me, and I think maybe overdone, but that's not my place. So.
Am I being too picky if I say that the hat does not fit the
Nope.
stylizing?
The hat does not fit the style.
I expect to see her in a winter coat and that.
Yeah. Also, I would give anything for a pour.
Well, maybe
just
she's a
one
white
pour.
Russian.
How about a pour? Show us this. There's no skin to pour, right? It's just white plastic skin.
So a lot of posts.
All right.
Yeah, a
A
lot of
posts,
over
maybe.
posted.
Overdone posts.
Here we go. Back to sports.
Back to sports. Ooh, you know what? You guys can critique this sports-wise. You know, nothing says 1982 like selective color.
Selective color. Use it on your bride.
Golden Glove Championship. Okay.
All right, we already know.
Dave, I'm going to let you take this one because you're the guest and you'll be out of town shortly.
Well, I'm not into the either make it black and white or have it color. For me,
Yeah.
I'm not into having the sort of
The
dual-
selective
the
Really,
color.
dual kind of
Dave,
color
it
here.
is in
Is
these
it?
days. Yeah, it's like it is
Oh,
like
no.
the trick of 1982.
Like plaid pants of golf is making
Wait,
a
Matt,
comeback.
you better seriously. They're going to retweet that you just said this is the in look of today.
No, because the joke is I'm saying this is
I know.
nothing says.
But if you don't make that clear,
Okay.
people will be retweeting. Matt Kluskowski just said selective color.
no,
is
no,
in
no. I'm
today.
saying selective color
I
was
know.
in 1982.
There you go.
Well, there's some things. Let's look at a
That was
couple
2 years
things.
before
wait, stay
Photoshop
back
was
there.
invented, by the way.
Go back.
Oh.
There we go. Just be conscious of when you start posing people for a picture like this. Arrange them to where they're not so arranged,
Yeah,
so to speak.
like we have this many people, small groups, a group of 3, another group of 2, a group of 4, a group, and arranging them around some common object would help. You've got a rink right there. You could have done some really neat stuff, but you kind of lined them up like big guys in the back, shorter guys up
You
front.
don't even see these guys.
Yeah, this is not good. All right, next. See, now here you kind of did that. Here you kind of grouped them. There's 2, then a group of 4, then another group, then another group. This, you need to apply that to the other group shot. I'm not sure we needed those 2 basketballs in the air, though. The hidden Mickey. Camping outside at Chick-fil-A. That's kind of a cute shot.
Well, it's in the fact that they've married both the sort of ambient light from the parking lot, I guess, the Chick-fil-A sign, and they've got the inside of the tent lit. That's a lot of lighting to kind of master, and I think they've done a really nice job with it. I think the screen, is it like the screen from the tent opening there is kind of hanging in the door, in the opening
Yeah.
where? Not sure if I like that so much because it's sort of cutting into the individual's,
Little
the
boy,
little
yeah.
boy's head. But I think the idea that big applause there on the 3 kinds of lighting, all sort of married up. Maybe not color-wise exactly, but at least tonal value-wise. I think it's pretty good.
Dave likes it.
I'll give some on that.
This is a snapshot.
This person
With a
likes
lot of
Chick-fil-A.
flash. Yeah.
Now it's interesting that they're like studio lit, but our
It
our
almost looks like a
driver, our carriage
composite.
driver is not.
Yeah.
Were they composited?
I think what it is, if you look down here, look on the right there. Can you put your cursor there, Matt? Somebody blew a big flash into this in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
This
he's
looks
got a light coming from under.
yeah.
If they're going to be lit, then the driver should be lit as well.
But it's
I think
overlit.
they're overdone. But just keep in mind that you've got sort of false reality coming in on the people inside the carriage,
Yeah.
but not on the driver. If you're going to have it on both places rather than one, not the other.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had to pick one of them that I think is okay, it's this one.
That's very nicely done. I like that.
But you know what
That's
it is?
a tough one to get all these people.
You know what it
working
is
for
though? I would still like to see a little more room up top. It's just they feel crowded in the frame. Not side to side, but from the top, it just feels a little crowded.
Now, sometimes we see this picture and we're not exactly sure how the client was maybe wanting to use it. Perhaps they wanted to put the whole season schedule down below them, and so they needed to force them up there. I'm going to give the photographer credit that maybe
Yeah, sure, Dave.
that
that's
was
it.
the call.
Sure, that's the call. All right.
I'm trying.
All right,
I'm
Matt, another
trying
one real
here.
quick. All right. Hockey. All right. Okay. Okay. Davo?
Well, we might have to turn over to Mr. Hockey here in the middle. Grandson of Bobby Orr, Scott Kelby.
Well, you know, Grandpa always used to tell me. Anyway, the stick is the end of the stick is cut off. There's no puck. You know how they always have that two-ball? Oh, not two balls. That's not good. A ball. Give me
Somebody
two
threw
eyes.
a basketball
No.
out on the ice.
Give me 2 eyes and a ball, or in this case, 2 eyes and a puck. I don't have 2 eyes. I don't have a puck. I have a cut-off stick. Next. There's a puck there, I think, on the stick, but you really can't see it. And I think, yeah, it's on the other side of the thing.
It's behind.
So what I would say here is you like the kicking up snow, which I do like.
Definitely like that.
But the crowd in the background is pretty stoic. They're just kind of looking like, oh, what's going on? The crowd's not on their feet banging on the windows or anything. It's okay. It's not much.
Is it possible that you took more than just one frame? In other words, I'll be satisfied if there's a little less ice, but that our offensive player has maybe revealed the puck, and then we see it. You may go back in your edit. You know, sometimes we're sitting there and we're being kind of, you know, critical about the pictures. We're trying to help you out and get things. You maybe took 10 shots of this. There's maybe a better one in there. Go back, take a look again. And the same thing with the one before. I think the conflict is probably what drew you to your interest. It wasn't like you didn't even look for the puck or the end of the stick. You saw that he was almost kicking the guy's skate right in his face.
Right.
Go back like 1 or 2 frames. Do we see the puck then and still have some of that conflict?
Yeah, next.
After the fact, a little bit after the action here. I'm not sure why he's down. If this guy hit him and that's why he's down, then I'd rather see the hit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Go back one. Thank you for the clean boards. You can never find them. See, look at this.
There you go.
Auto value.
Auto value. You know what it is? The crop on this with the puck. So you don't see a lot of the puck, and it's right in the corner.
Yeah, it is.
But you know what else, too, at the end of the day? How often does this scene happen in a hockey game? All night long.
So it's got to be something extraordinary.
Yeah.
If it's just going to be 2 guys pursuing another offensive player.
Yeah.
Right now, it looks like they're just sort of, you know, kind of jollying along on the, you know, on the train here, instead of actually going after the guy. So give us a little bit more there.
Yeah.
Give us
And
more.
go back to the last one. I like this one. Here we go.
Bingo.
He's caught the puck right there. Ooh, well, you're not going to get the puck in focus. The puck is moving so fast, but you know the puck is in his hands. I like that. I think it's pretty good. What do you think, Dave? I like it.
That works out good. It tells us exactly what's going on.
Empty stands.
If this was a decisive moment in this hockey game where he got the save that gave them the win,
then it's an
this
important
becomes
shot.
a very, very important shot.
I hate the empty stands in the background, but there's not much you can do about that.
You mean you can't go higher?
Nope.
Okay.
Only a
Switch
couple
gears?
more. Yep. Nice. 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 Nice.
Getting out of my league here,
Nice.
guys. Oh, there's one. Okay.
We'll do it quick. Matt,
All right.
you take this one, bro. Your landscaping.
Wow, look at all that stuff going on.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. I mean, you got the splashing water, a
Pana.
little overcooked
Overdone.
in
Go back
in the
one.
sky.
A little overcooked.
Go back one. Boy, what a great place for a portrait of a surfer.
Yeah.
Just standing. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just a great place for the portrait. Give me the same thing.
Stick
Put
a
like the
there.
surfer in there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Kind of neat. You got the God beams going down.
No, these are like HDR guys, right?
See, yeah,
little bit.
I'm learning
I
from
don't
RC.
think it's HDR.
You know?
I think
Do you
these
think
are
so?
mostly like just like tonal stuff. Like
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
they're adding a plug-in afterwards that has tonal effects. I don't think any of these are real HDRs.
I like photos like this. You know, if it were me, I'd put the neutral density on and smooth out the water. I hate choppy water,
Yeah.
so I always throw the neutral density on. And
choppy
I love getting the
water.
sun. So
Dun, dun, dun. What f-stop was that taken at, Matt?
This was F16 or F22.
How do you know that, Matt?
Because the little sun star here. But I love it. So if I do this quite a bit. Whenever I shoot, I get the sun at some key moment coming down or going up, and it takes a landscape that could be taken at any time, and it puts it to a very specific moment that if you weren't standing there then, you'd have never seen it.
I like that shot. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, me too.
But pretty good overall. All right, a couple more we're going to have to wrap up here. Hey, I will tell you this while Matt's getting ready. So if you want to enter our contest today, you saw how earlier in the thing, we're giving away some books and some cool stuff. Go to kelbytraining.com/contest and choose the grid as the show that you're watching, because we have a number of shows. Give us your name and all that kind of stuff. And then if you want to win one of my seminar tours, so I'm going to Philadelphia on April 3rd. I'm going to be in Chicago shortly after that. Just say, just in the comment section, put, Scott's new Shoot Like a Pro Tour and the date, or the city, and then you're entered in to win. All right, what do we got here?
All right, let's go through them quick. We'll go through a few here.
Boom,
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 boom.
boom.
The classic car series.
Ooh, I really like that
I like this one. Yeah,
that's the one, bro.
Yeah.
You know what? That's got some design and composition to it.
Thanks for turning the headlights on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, back to the beginning.
It was a blustery day in May.
Favorite movie, Grand Prix. There we go. Well, that's a pretty good pan. It would be, I think you could slow your shutter speed down even more to really blur the background, really make it look like he's going 130 miles an hour. But this panning is tough, and I think the photographer's done a pretty nice job with this. We got a lot of nice motion in the wheel as well back there. Pick somebody with a little more color, probably a good idea. I mean, if you're just in that corner, here they come by, next car, next car, next car. Choose one with maybe a little more color rather than just white helmet, black jacket, dark burgundy.
Good.
Okay, go back one. Blurred background.
Yep.
That's good. Next
Panning.
one.
Not
Frozen
good.
background, and it's just this sort of green, whatever it is there. So that's kind of hurting you. Whoop, go back. Boom. Go ahead.
Try to be quick, Dave.
Go ahead and I know we're running out of time here. Go ahead and tilt or Dutch, as they say, the frame if you can. Now you're squaring it up. I'm saying go the other way.
Other way.
You won't be able to do it probably cropping necessarily, but when you're shooting auto racing, motorcycles, that sort of thing, motorsports, you can go ahead and tilt and Dutch, as they say, the frame. Have them diving down diagonally, have them diving up diagonally.
Dutch it.
Dutch it.
If you look at the IndyCar logo, even it is tilted.
Same thing here. Now let's
Slower shutter speed.
Zoom in and tilt it. Get the car diving down through the frame. That's going to do it for us, but you could do it right there on the spot. There you go. Look at how it changes.
Also.
All of a sudden, there's a much better dynamic going on now.
Leave a little room in the front. There you go. And tighten up that top, too. There's a bunch of words that we don't need.
Just cut them in half.
There
it
you
goes.
go.
That
and
shows
make
our
it
motion.
Big. There it is. Big impact.
Much nicer.
And you don't notice that your shutter speed wasn't slow enough. You notice
You can go slower.
Yeah, you can definitely go slower.
Definitely
but it's not as evident with this tighter crop.
All right.
All right.
You want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do another one.
You got it.
Football.
Ooh. Diving through the air.
Football.
There's something tight. Hello, boys. Hello.
All right.
Dave?
Well, now I'm going to back up on some of the things I've said earlier. I've said get lower so that he looks higher, drops the background down, that sort of stuff. But I like the idea that our three boys are in the background watching the play happen, and they're right over the top of them. Of course, our, marker guy there is just killing this whole thing. That's really the tough part. Good timing, right? And you've included his whole body. It's kind of neat that he's sort of horizontal.
I would have loved to see some separation between him and the background, though.
Well, he definitely needs that. Definitely needs that. But I don't mind the idea that I see the boys. The boys, at least, if they're going to be there, they're at least helping. Now, this is getting a little tighter. I like this.
It's a little bit of separation, but it could have gone. This looks like an f5.6 versus an
F2.8.
Yeah.
F2.8 would have really dropped those guys out back there, but we have a nice clean background going for us. He's running from left to right, and he's left us a little bit of room here on the right side. For if it's in a magazine, there's a good chance there may be some copy there. The story might start there on this one player.
This is mislit to death.
Wait a minute now.
No.
Go ahead. Keep going, because I'm going to
All right, what's the brightest thing in the photo? Their stomachs.
arms.
What's next? Their arms. What's supposed to be bright? Their faces. Now, I know what you're trying to do.
Right.
You're thinking, I want to underlight them, because that's a typical thing to do for an athlete, is to underlight them. You make them look scary, you make them look big. But unfortunately, you got the angle right in that it's under them, but you're lighting their arms. And their faces are not well lit. They don't have that scary underlit look that they need to have. I think it's just mislit to death. Dave?
So what do you really think?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, the idea that you've lit from underneath, I think, does make them look a little tougher. But if you're going to light them from underneath to make them look tougher, make them look tougher.
Yeah.
Have them pose just a little tougher as well. Scott's exactly right. We've got the bottom half, or the bottom third of the frame, with their underneath of their forearms there are all lit a little bit too much. But I think the idea that you're after is getting there. But make it a little more radical on these guys. They're just standing there, right? They're just standing there.
Get them to all go.
Get them to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trip the camera a little bit. Use a wider angle lens. You know, help yourself out a little bit on those things. Though they're just standing there. That's and you took the time to set it up, and I applaud that.
Yeah.
But let's make it even better. I'm just stretching here.
That's overprocessed to death.
I'm just stretching without a foot.
I'm stretching without a foot, too. That's painful. Very, very painful. Yeah. Yeah, that's...
This one's hard for me to, it's hard for me to comment on this, because it sort of goes out of the editorial realm for me.
Yeah,
I look at it like it's overcooked, it's overdone.
It's overcooked.
A little bit.
It's crispy.
All right, so take processing out of it, though.
I'm trying to.
Then you go straight to the foot. If you take the processing out, you go, the angle's good. He's very, very low. The player looks big. They did a lot of things right.
Yes.
But when you cut off the foot, it's already kind of killed the shot. And then the processing, if it had any life in it, the processing killed what was left.
All right. These are things you have to just, your focus is you get in there and you start seeing this guy. You see the red jersey, you see this guy, so you get down low. Great, you got that. Look all around the edge of the frame. You're responsible for every pixel in this picture.
Yes.
So he's just stretching. He's going to stretch for a little while, probably, at least 15 seconds or so, maybe 10 seconds on that side. Take a look around the frame and go, oh man, I just cut his foot off. And if you can't back up or zoom out fast enough, go ahead and tilt it then. I don't care. But include that foot in there.
Yep.
Right? And those are things you have to determine very quickly, right on the run. And you can do this. You really can. You just got to be conscious of it all around the edges.
Hey, we're going to take a short break. We have one last one to do, and we're done for the day. So stick around. We'll be right back right here on the grid.
Hi, my name's Dave Black, and I'd like to welcome you to Kelby Training, where you can come join me on my light painting landscapes class. One of our locations is going to be at one of the most famous, iconic barns here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Not only will we do light painting there, but we will also do some soft focus technique. The site survey will give us an opportunity to look at our subject and start to figure out where we'll have camera position and where we would be applying the light painting from. Now, just because we're out here in the great outdoors in a big national park, don't think you can't do these at home. All the basics and fundamentals that we'll cover in this video will teach you how to get into light painting landscapes, whether you're out here in Teton National Park or right in your very own hometown. Come to my light painting landscapes video at kelbytraining.com. I hope to see you then.
This one?
Show them the sports one.
Sports?
All right.
That guy?
All right, we got time for one last one. Hey, want to give a shout out to Wacom, one of our sponsors. We love you,
Wacom.
Wacom. We love you. I carry with me everywhere I go my Wacom. I've got the small size.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Intuos, I think, was it 5?
The Intuos 5 small.
Yeah, small. So I have on
all
my
I use
desk,
now.
I have the medium. And you all use the small?
I only
Isn't
use
that
the
a
small.
great tablet?
You know what it is I used to have the medium, and sorry, Wacom, but I don't want my arm to have to move that much space, across that much space. So the small, I can kind of just keep it on and
Can I
pivot.
tell you something?
What?
You're the most in shape person I've ever met. Matt does CrossFit. He's a award-winning champion, black belt. Do you know that Matt is the #2 Taekwondo in sparring in the United States?
Well, I talked to that boy just the other day.
Yeah, and so, but Matt's like, oh, but you know what? I can't move I can't use the medium. Oh, it's so hard. Like, I just want to hit him in the head. No. Matt is in shape when he runs marathons, for God's sakes. He runs marathons, 26.2 miles, and he does it uphill.
Both ways.
Both ways. But when it comes to picking up a pen and moving it from here to here, he has to get a smaller tablet. All right.
I like the small, sorry.
And Brad has a really great comment, though. He wrote, and this is true, Matt has to stay in shape to be in the Chippendales. So if you're a Chippendale, they're very, very tough on you. Okay, last one. We're going to look at one last one. We've run way over. Here we go. Dave Black, tell us what you think. Give us the love or something else in this case.
Oh, we're looking at them all, I guess. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to look over here. From a distance, it's cluttered, so it was hard for me to distinguish what was going on. I'm having to look on the laptop here. Well, it's a moment, right? Looks like the fumble. I'm going to guess it's probably near the goal line as well, probably. So in that reportive sense, it probably works pretty well. But I think it's going to come down to, like Scott did on that one pass reception. Crop, because we got a guy doing nothing back there, a couple guys doing nothing. The whole thing that catches your eye is right in here where the ball's popping loose.
All right, now move it up. There you go. Now let's see that big. Look at that story.
Now all of a sudden, we know what's going on. It was too hard for me to determine just by looking at the laptop, and the laptop's only about 20 inches away. Now I know exactly what's going on. And so you're probably thinking out there, well, why don't I just crop the snot out of it? And I'm thinking, well, maybe you can, and maybe your editor thinks that's okay, but you want to try and train yourself to get in there and get the picture this way maybe first.
Yeah, I'll talk about that in just 1 second. We'll wrap up with that. All right, here you go. I like the moment of defeat.
Steve Grogan. No, I'm sorry, it's not.
I like the moment. I like celebrations, and I also like the opposite of them, the moment of defeat.
That's right. Now, my question would be, how long was he in this position? Was he there for a couple seconds? If so, take a step to your left about 6 feet, drop down to your knee a little bit more, drop the background down and move that guy behind him, get him out of the way, and I want to see him from a profile because right now I've got the bench that's all white kind of blocking him off a lot. Is the moment there? You bet. Has he got the red on? It's looking okay.
Oh, my aching head.
Get this as you move in. You shoot this, then you move to your left and you drop down more and get it even better.
Yep.
Right?
Do we need that blue number 35?
Blue 35.
Do we need him?
I don't know.
That was pretty good. That was like Joe Namath, wasn't it? Blue 35.
Blue 35.
Blue 35. Blue 35.
That might be a little tight.
Okay.
No 35 though. No arm, no nothing. But right there.
There you go.
Get that toe in. Up. Go up. Right there. And then pull a little off the left side.
There is a real art to cropping. There really is. There really is. And as a photographer,
crop, but look at when you...
as a photographer, learn to start doing that because it's more and more, it's your responsibility from the field to be able to do those things.
Well, here's the thing. If you don't crop it, if you crop it, then you're kind of telling them, this is kind of what I wanted. If you don't crop it, they'll come up with any crop they want. So you get a little more control if you do your own cropping. If you leave it up to an editor, then they'll crop it their way.
There's a good moment. Guys airborne. I like the moment. Looks like they're just crossing the goal line. So nicely airborne. He is way up there. I like that. He is way up there. I like that. And everybody else is like stunned, almost flat-footed down below him.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
I'll take it.
Good moment.
I'll take it. I applaud the photographer's effort to get just a little bit higher in this case, but we still see all the legs, bench, fence, something, right above him there. So it's like you'd almost have to get higher than this to clean up the background. I'm not big on the idea that we see 6 inches of the bat necessarily, but...
And you know what? There's not really a moment. Every time the ball, could be a foul ball, could be a swing and a miss. It's not really, there's nothing happening here.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm assuming that what's behind him in the background is the team.
Yeah.
And it's their White Sox and so forth. If this guy is on a home run streak or something like that, and he hits another home run, then maybe I'm just saying this maybe isn't the case, but I'm just saying then go wider and show the team going crazy back there. Or get higher and clean it up. But Scott's right, there's not really a moment here necessarily.
And what's that saying? 2 eyes and a ball?
2 balls.
I got no ball. I have maybe a corner of 1 eye. All right. Hey, I want to talk about, we're going to wrap things up with the cropping. So Dave really said it best. How much do you crop? As little as possible. But here's the thing. So I really feel like, now this is in general speaking, I'm not talking about sports. I feel like my basic job as a photographer is what goes in the frame. And I absolutely hate to go crop any photo after the fact, because to me it means I didn't do my basic job as a photographer. My job is composition. If I composed it poorly so badly that I have to go to a program later and fix it, it's just my own personal thing. I feel bad. Now, let's slide that apart. Now to sports. Sports is different because here's the thing. You're shooting a football game. They're at the 20-yard line. The ball gets picked and the guy runs to the other end of the field. Your lens is not going to get to the other end of the field. And a lot of things will happen when you're in the end zone and they're on the 20-yard line, right? They take the ball at the 20. The very first pass is a great play. The guy dives up in the air, catches the ball, and you caught it. But you're 80, 90, you're almost 100 yards away. Even if you have a 400 with a 1.4 tele on it, you're not going to get a compelling image. You're going to have all kinds of people wandering around and refs and all this kind of stuff. Your job is to turn in a compelling image. So I try to overcome limitations of things I could not control. In sports, in soccer, in baseball, things happen in a flash. You ever shoot the outfield at a baseball game, Dave?
I have had to do that.
How far away is, I mean,
It's a
you would
haul.
think, I got a 600 millimeter lens, 580 millimeter, whatever. The outfielders look this big in your frame.
405 feet away.
405 feet away. So there are things that you have to crop after the fact to make a compelling picture to overcome. Now, if they're on the 20-yard line coming towards you, you should not have to crop that. You should be able to get in really, 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 really tight. In fact, I'm still shooting sometimes a 400 millimeter when they're on the 20 facing me. Because I'm trying to get that super in close. And there's also, if you're shooting for a new service, there's going to be, well, you send in, if you crop the death out of it, the image will be too low to be usable for them. They still need a high resolution image. So that's nice that most cameras now are 24 megapixels.
Sure.
Because when you do have to crop in downfield, the soccer play, the guy kicks the ball way down there and the guy hits it in his head, he's jumping, he's got the great expression, but your frame's this big and he's this big. With 24 megapixels, you can still get it sharp and get a good, nice, tight crop. So it's a part of sports photography. I sit in photo workrooms all across the country and see guys cropping to death. Not because they're not good photographers, but because the play is moved to a different part of the court or the field or the ice. And to make the kind of dynamic images that are required for today's purportage, you have to crop very, very tight. Dave, any comments on that?
Well, I think like I said, I used the word striving a couple times, and I think you're always striving to try and get in closer to show people the inside of the sport, show them something that maybe television hasn't shown them. And it's like anything else. If Matt, you go out and train, right? You go out and run or whatever it is, you run 6 miles. 1 mile is probably a breeze for you, isn't it? Right?
He
It's
runs
like no
1
big
mile
deal.
before he wakes up. He's asleep. Sound asleep, he runs a mile.
So if I use a 600 everywhere I go, and then I shoot with a 4, it's like, this is so easy.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a way to train yourself. If you have to, put the converter on during the warm-ups and so forth. Players are out there doing all their drills and all that kind of stuff. Put the converter on there, get in close, get in tight, do that, practice it that way. Then if you have to back off to try and get all the action and maybe feel a little more comfortable, you'll find it so much easier. It's as if the sport is moving slower. And when it's moving slower, in your mind it's moving slower now, then you don't miss anything. That's the neat thing about it. And you can't miss anything if you're working for a wire service or somebody like that.
Well, Dave, thank you very much for being on the show today.
Oh, what a
You
pleasure.
were wonderful
What
and
a pleasure.
insightful, as always.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much to everybody. Thanks for letting us run over like we did. Brad just sent a big note. It says, please wrap, please.
Please wrap.
So we're wrapping. Thanks, everybody, much for watching. Matt, thank you as always. To all of our sponsors. Dave, where can people go learn more about you, go see some of your work?
You can come on Kelby Training. I got stuff there.
You do, but we're in the absence of Kelby Trading, where can they go?
Well, you can come to my website at www.daveblackphotography.com and go to the workshop at the ranch.
Oh, so Dave does it at DaveBlackPhotography.com. He has a special thing called Workshop at the Ranch, where you have some wonderful, and that's how I first learned about you, was from Workshop at the Ranch, because while you do a lot of sports there, you also do a lot of things with off-camera flash, hot shoe flash,
Light
portraits, light painting. You're the master of light painting. I think you were the kind of guy that created the light painting genre to what it is today. So I know a lot of people do it, but I think when I think of light painting, and the first time I was aware of light painting was from you.
That was a lot of fun to do, I'll tell you
Because
that.
you're a beautiful man. All right, thank you, beautiful people. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Pete. All the crew here at Kelby Media. Peace.
Time to wrap?
We just wrapped.
That's it.
Bye.
The piece was it.
Let's go to the jib
We just
shot.
finished
Go
up
to the
'cause we
jib
got
shot, and then go to the other thing that runs after the jib shot. That's it right there.
This week's episode of The Grid is sponsored by MPix. Shoot today, upload tonight, we ship tomorrow. All One Software, focused on photography. Peach Pit Press, publishers of technology books, ebooks, and videos for creative people. Epson, exceed your vision. Expo Imaging, Rogue Flash Benders for speedlight enthusiasts. Intel, the power you need for hardcore creatives. Squarespace, everything you need to create an exceptional photography website. And B&H Photo, the professional source.